Hello. Hello. I'm Alex. I'm back with more video, hopefully shorter this time. Today I wanted to talk about heartbreak and healing, and specifically what I learned from a little game called Sayonara Wild Hearts. Something's changed, and I didn't know you're slipping away. Sayonara Wild Hearts is an indie game from 2019 that was published by Annapurna Studios. It is a rhythm game. You play through a pop album inspired by Charlie XCX and Marina and the Diamonds' Heartbreak pop music. The whole game is full of magical girls and motorcycles and tarot. Before we get into the game, I wanted to do a little quick sidebar about tarot. Tarot is deep and rich and complicated, and I am no authority, but I can give a brief history of tarot. Tarot originated from Romani people and has roots in symbology in Jewish and Romani culture. Tarot has been a tool of divination for centuries. Divination, as defined by Webster's dictionary, is the art or practice that seeks to foresee or foretell future events, or discover hidden knowledge, usually by the interpretation of omens or by the aid of supernatural powers, unusual insight, intuitive perception. Tarot has also traveled with Romani people as they've migrated through different countries and communities, and tarot has been shared in its roots with Black and Indigenous people internationally. In my opinion, tarot is a language that's developed over time. Many opinions floating around. I still use tarot for divination personally. There's a lot of cultural exchange and a cultural appreciation between Romani and Black people historically. I do try to keep an eye out and donate to Romani organizations and spread cultural understanding from Romani community members when I can. Always acknowledge the origin of things and where they come from. I think if you use tarot in your practice, you should donate to Romani communities and organizers, to the Diclo Collective. I will link their Instagram and Facebook down below. Oh yeah, the other disclaimer I forgot. I am like an intermediate tarot reader, so I got a lot of my sources online. So grain of salt. Give me thoughts to add or subtract, depending on how you feel if you read tarot. Tell me down below. Anyway, Sayonara Wild Hearts uses symbology through tarot. The game starts when the balance is destroyed and the protagonist has gone through so many trials that she's feeling lost. She's brought into this journey to find her way again by the magical force sent by the divine arcana. The nurturing empress, the intuitive high priestess, and the otherworldly hierophant. And the protagonist is given the powers of the fool to restore balance to herself in the world. And the fool is the hero of the major arcana. The whole Sayonara Wild Hearts game is just the major arcana. It's a big archetypal journey for the protagonist. When you're going through this whole journey with the fool, the basis of the fool is all about being flexible and resilient, being open to the journey you're going on. The fool is a leap of faith in like the simplest terms. The fool travels the Heartbreak subspace to the Hate Hell Valley to face the dancing devils. The fool gains the Wheel of Fortune as a motorcycle to ride to the journey. Fortune is all about good luck or bad luck. The wheel will always turn. Things aren't really in your control. Remember to appreciate the lucky times, because you never know what can happen when you're in the middle of like a period of bad luck, that things will turn around and become easier. I love the Wheel of Fortune as like a motorcycle. You only have as much control of the situation as how you respond as you weave through the traffic of the first level. The fool chases down the dancing devils and begin again. And the lyrics of Begin Again are about a very codependent, toxic relationship. But the singer is relieved to be free of this relationship soon after going through so much of these same exhausting patterns. The singer is beyond ready to let go. arrow often symbolizes emptiness, entrapment, lack of fulfillment. Do your impulses control you, or do you control your impulses? But you have the power to escape that cycle of destruction. And then the Fool finds the moon and takes this card to the Woe Woods. Once the Fool finds the Emperor soon into the forest in the form of a stag, and chases after them and ride the stag throughout the forest to safety, and then the Emperor chooses to merge with the Fool. Emperor is all about structure and discipline. So with this structure and discipline, the Fool will be able to safely navigate the woods and to chase down the howling wolves. Emperor is also all about setting realistic but sturdy boundaries. The howling moons make the Fool hallucinate. That ties into the disorienting nature of the moon. We'll get to that though. Wolf robots attack the Fool. The Fool pulls out justice and judgment, and they turn into Gatling guns that fix on the side of the motorcycle. That's so cool. Justice is cause and effect, according to all fairness, and judgment is all about rebirth and renewal, the destruction of the old in order to bring in the new. The Fool is able to defeat the robots and navigate the dense forest. The Fool chases down the howling wolves, the dead of night. The lyrics of the dead of night reflect being anxiously attached to someone, obsessed with one person and the passion you share, but being so consumed by the passion that it's the only thing that fulfills you, and you're anxious and you don't know how to go on without them, and pull yourself out of the anxiety and move on. The moon is all about the superego and the id. The id is all about your base impulses, and the superego is the most controlled you can be. It's also about needing to follow your intuition, but you need to also figure out what's giving you anxiety and fear, otherwise you'll be driven by anxiety and fear. The Fool travels back to subspace and rides the tower to find lovers at the top. Technically, the Tower and Three of Swords aren't bad cards, but they're not good times, in my opinion. The Tower is completely uncontrollable and unyielding change. If you built your tower up on a weak foundation, it will collapse in on itself. It could be an understanding that a relationship you took great pride in is coming to an end, whether you like it or not, or are ending it or not actively. Forced to face your circumstances for what they are honestly, and everything is about to come apart, and reckon with it as it's happening. Otherwise, you're gonna fall apart with the Tower. The Fool finds lovers at the top and rides them into the next space of Twilight Cry Sky, and you have to make turn after turn and choice after choice of which path to go down in order to come face to face with the studio lover. The studio lover throws you strength, which turns into a sword, a cool sword. Is all about being in control of yourself during great adversity, understanding your inner fortitude and patience even when you're in a time of distress, and not falling into your anger or impulsive feelings, following your best instincts to stay strong. The studio lovers force the Fool to go sway back and forth to keep with the rhythm. the Fool takes control and switches the stage and catches up to them. The Fool chases and combats the studio lovers through the sky during Mine. The lyrics of Mine reflect the domineering partnership that is built on facades and masquerades. It's an unhealthy need to possess someone and possess their love based on what you choose to see in them instead of wholly accepting the complexities and freedoms they have as a person. Lovers is about balance and harmony. Usually, in order to be balanced, you're going to be forced to choose and make major decisions. In order to have genuine people around you, you have to choose to be genuine, and you have to choose like real affections and love in your life. And the fact that there's a lot of light imagery in the level and in the card traditionally. It's about not covering up things in order to maintain an image. Seeing beyond the superficial. The masquerade, if you will. The Fool falls into the hermit warpway in subspace. She is led to the desert of doubts. It's a car. She gets the chariot and it turns into a car. She drifts through every turn, but she maintains the course, just like driving a chariot. And the chariot is all about keeping your focus and your confidence and just determination and pushing your way through your path in order to make it to your goal. Fool drives to Hermit 64. Hermit 64 uses the World card to turn the Fool into a game cartridge and pulls the Fool into the Hermit's world. The Fool glides through this pixelated perspective in reverie in order to find the avatar for herself. Point in the journey, the World card would symbolize that everything is starting to come together for the Fool, and she is almost at the end of her journey, and all the loose ends are starting to tie up. You've persevered, you continue to persevering, you're almost at the end of your journey. You just have to push through a little longer. The Fool's avatar glides around the screen of Hermit 64's VR headset. The lyrics of The World We Knew are all about a depressive, like nostalgia, looking back, and being so desperate to not have to try and push anymore that you're willing to kind of take anything that comes your way, any scrap of something good you'll be willing to accept, because she's so tired of pushing and fighting and going through all of this like anxiety just to get some sort of grounding again. They say again, they say again, I'll take any fragment sacrifice. They say again, they say again. Any fragments left behind. I'm too young to remember when the world was alive. I'm too old to start changing. is all about isolating yourself in order to have space to find that inner voice again. You'll find an answer to the current crisis you're going through by meditating and looking into like the harsher truths that come from reflecting. If you seek out wisdom despite that discomfort, then you will find a way to solve the turbulence you're going through. And then the Fool travels through the ocean of death and subspace, falling onto the star. The star is all about renewed hope and strength to carry on. If you have the star, that means that you will be provided through. Everything will be okay. Even if things seem so down and out now, you will be okay. And it's just a really reassuring card. The star is all about renewing your confidence and being guided back to your inner intuition. Death takes the Fool to Love Dead City, where she finds Little Death. Little Death pulls the Hangman to put hate skulls in the Fool's path. The Hangman's all about sacrifice, a forced pause that can create a period of indecision and to give up something in order to gain something else. And then the Fool pulls out Temperance in response, which gives her a bow that allows her to pick off the hate skulls. And it's my favorite level. It's so good. It's so... the music! Temperance is all about meeting anxiety and stress with balance and patience. Like, instead of going one extreme or the other, you found the middle path. The Fool chases down Little Death. Little Death volleys back at the Fool. Little Death pulls out the Sun in order to stop the Fool. And the Sun was interesting because it's like supposed to be the most optimistic card in the whole tarot deck. The Sun's light will illuminate everything. So, other reading of the Sun of everything is coming out. And then the Fool catches up again and knocks out Little Death and shoots like their 20 hearts, and Little Death comes in together to form a monster that mimics like the Fool. And I think like out of all of the enemies the Fool is going up against, I feel like Little Death is kind of like the Fool's inner child, and also a mix of the emotional immaturity that the Fool has been forced to kind of grow out of and process throughout the game. And the song for this level, Inside, is a bit harder for me to interpret. Inside, the Fool is kind of stepping back and not knowing what balance to have in the relationship. She undercuts herself over and over and kind of pushes her feelings down and pushing her feelings aside and feeling like despondent because you can't really express yourself and how you actually feel. Death is much more like a change is coming and it's an inevitable change and you'll be forced to face it and come to terms with it. You're going through a big transformation. If you overcome your fear of change, then it can usher in good things, is what Death says. The Eye combines all the forces of the Devil, the Moon, the Lover, the Hermit, and Death, forcing the Fool to confront all of them at once. And she chases the Eye and it explodes, wow. But the Devil, the Moon, the Lover, the Hermit, and Death steal her powers and combine with them. She faces off against like each corrupted version of herself and she meets it with a kiss on a cheek. Self-love. Wild Hearts Never Die is like a rallying cry for the Fool to regain her sense of self and power through this final trial. Her heartbreak hasn't broken her and she's still resilient in the face of it, and she's like able to accept the reality of what happened and move forward. All balance is restored. The Empress, the Hierophant, and the High Priest. The Empress, the Hierophant, and the High Priestess regain their power, and this is just the full creative expression and nurturing side, intuition coming back to her, and she's gaining her footing again in her creative voice.
From the shards of your broken heart, the real heroine is risen. You have restored the lost harmony of the world. Now you must go and find harmony in your home. Sayonara.
Dragon turns him back into a little fairy and guides her home. And the game closes out with A Place I Don't Know. A Place I Don't Know's lyrics reflect on the surreal and risky emotional journey that the fool has gone through. She's unafraid of her future adventures and kind of wants to continue like these leaps of faith. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a game about like meeting your most challenging circumstances with patience and perseverance and self-love. I think it's an especially good game for how much it teaches like you to forgive yourself for like what you're going through. But I recommend Sayonara Wild Hearts a bunch. Thank you for making it this far into this video with me, and I appreciate you watching. If you like the video, then like the video, and please comment down below. Thanks to Vomit for the music. Thank you to my lovely patrons for supporting me and helping me make this video. And if you would like to help support future videos, you can find my Patreon down below. Links to my Instagram and follow for updates. Hi, sorry about that. I totally ran out of footage at the very end. But yes, thank you again for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and tune in again for my next video essay. Sorry for seeming a little tired here. I finished writing and recording in the same day, but still, I really appreciate you tuning in, and thank you again. Bye!